Michelle. So thank you everyone for joining. This is very exciting. It's my first COC meeting, and I'm excited to see such a wide participation. Unfortunately, Leslie is not here at the moment, but with a bit of luck, she'll join later on. So I'll do my best to represent her with great pride. So really, thank you very much. It's very exciting, and let's start. Go on.
Elisha Flax, our Israeli chair of the partnership. Thank you. Michelle and Efrat, the immediate past chair, we're asking you and being honored for you to agree to do a shout out of the communities that are here.
So shalom, everyone. This is our second COC via Zoom. I just get so excited to see everyone. So welcome, welcome. Please raise your hand if this is your first COC or first partnership Zoom meeting. Anybody? I see a baby, Alicia. Okay, welcome. So welcome new participants. When Efrat and I call out the name of your community, if you would please give us a shout out, a wave, and type in your name box the community from which you're from.
Shalom and welcome. Okay, so management team and committee chairs.
Woo!
Okay, hello Budapest.
Alicia, really good. That was awesome.
Okay?
Hello Budapest, and Mazal Tov to Hedy in honor of her upcoming wedding in August.
Yay. Austin, Boker Tov. Shalom, y'all. Thanks, Daniel, for bringing your team.
Shalom to our friends in Buffalo, the city of Niagara Falls, and the home of our American chair, Leslie Kramer. We send a lot of good energy from our hearts to you. Boker Tov, Dayton. I want to see a hand. Dayton.
Hi, from Dayton.
Yay, that's what we want.
Our future startup program. Please give us a wave and say good luck. Good luck. Hello, Des Moines. A special thanks to Bob for bringing the first Solidarity mission to Israel. Yeah.
Yay!
Boker Tov, Fort Wayne. Thanks for joining us this morning. And Shalom, Fort Worth. Please welcome new exec Barry Abels. Barry, gotta hear you. Boker Tov, Indianapolis. If you all can help me wish Michelle Bukai many new fabulous new adventures as she retires from the Federation after just a year or two or many. Thank you for your passion and dedication in helping our partnership grow and be the very best. Boker Tov, Louisville, thanks for joining. I see a few faces I haven't seen in a while.
Hello to our friends in Northwest Indiana. Hope you're enjoying your summer. We still remember your winter. We welcome Michelle Cohen, the new exec in Northwest Indiana, in her first day or hour in the Federation and in our partnership.
We're very excited to have her.
Welcome, welcome. Boker Tov, Omaha, thanks for joining Alan. And Peoria, please help me welcome Sue as the newest management team member. Thanks, Sue, for joining us on the team.
Thank you.
Bruchim habayim, San Antonio. Can I see a hand, a wave, something?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'd like to thank Gigi for being on the call today from Indianapolis. She just hopped on. Boker Tov, this was awesome. Boker Tov to the Nancys of Springfield, Illinois. Let's hear from the Nancys.
I'm thrilled to be here. I don't want to speak for the other Nancy.
Okay.
Where is she, Nancy? I'm sure
South Bend, we miss you. We have so many good memories from our last face-to-face meeting in South Bend 2 years ago, this July, and it seems like from another world.
How can it be 2 years already?
You see, unbelievable. Shalom Toledo. Woo! Thank you, Fagi, for your weekly Shabbat greeting. Shalom.
Boker Tov, Youngstown. Andy, thanks for bringing your team.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
I'm just so glad you guys are here. And Erev Tov, Western Galilee, we miss you and we count the days until we can meet again. I think we're all a little bit jealous of Bob having been there just a little bit ago. So we miss you guys.
L'shana habaa, face to face. I hear everybody say amen.
Amen, 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 amen.
Bezrat Hashem. Bezrat Hashem.
Thank you so much, Michelle and Frat, really. And I would like to introduce Pnina Agenyahu, the Global Partnership Director, to say a few words of welcome.
As Erev Tov, good evening or Boker Tov. I have to say that I'm really excited to be here. That's such a great energy. Michelle and Efrat, toda rabah for opening this way. I think it's the first Zoom meeting of the steering committee in the partnership, and I've been to many in the last 4 months that have such a good energy in the room, and you can feel it. Mamash kol hakavod, toda rabah. It's great to enter a steering committee like that. I've been here for 4 months already. And I have to say that I think, Sharon, that the partnership that was most visited by myself was your partnership, this partnership. And I was very inspired to see a great program that you have on the ground in the region. And I was also grateful to be to spend some time with the Solidarity Mission that Bob was leading lately, which was a great opportunity for me to see the program with the Share Society you have in Sheikh Abnon, and to see, you know, the interaction between the groups that come in on the mission, which is really, you know, something that you can't just write on a paper and document that. You have to be there to feel it, to experience that. And another thing that I was really inspired to see that happening great in your partnership together with Sharon and her staff was the third community model, which together with Sharon and friends from the PGC, members of the PGC, we're developing that as a model that we would like to be inspired and copy paste to other partnership. I think what you have here with Budapest, it's unbelievable. And it's something that can add so much, I will say, flavor to what we say, the Jewish people, the collective, to Jewish identity and understanding the sense of being part of one nation, one people. And it's something that we're looking forward to see how we can grow into in our partnership in the future. And we look at you as the right model to do it. I know there was a lot, you know, it took time, and it's many baby steps, and there is so much to expand and to learn from it, but it's something that we definitely feel can happen with others, and there's other Jewish communities that are looking forward to do that. So that was only just to share, you know, what I experienced so far, and there is even more, but I would like to also tell you a bit of what I'm experiencing as the entering director, as you say, or the incoming director. I've been familiar with the partnership for many years, not only now, based more from New York Federation and Jerusalem and LA with Tel Aviv and Washington and Bet Shemesh, but never really deep from the bottom to the top, never from what's happening on the ground, but just looking into, you know, strategic documents and looking into our partners on the globe, usually from the Federation perspective. And it's fascinating to see, first of all, to meet our staff on the ground. We have 25 wonderful directors in our partnership that running around to 44 partnerships. So some of our directors are running more than one. And there is more than one model of a partnership. You know, people sometimes assume that there is only one way to do it, which is a geographical and twinning of two cities, twinning of two communities. I guess you probably know that it's not like that because your model is totally different. You don't have one community attached to one community. You have a group of communities in the Midwest together with another community in Europe. And that only teach you and show you how the model can be so flexible and adapt to what it's needed on the ground, and also be reinvented all the time. And that's one of the things that I love in our partnership. Just one way of creating relationship and establishing relationship, but it's kind of a platform that give you many, many opportunities to connect people to people, community to community, and to connect people also through themes, which is one of the things that I would like to bring into our partnership. And I know with that Sharon is doing wonderful work with Share Society, which I see it as a theme and not necessarily just something that can happen in the region and depend on the geographical relationship. And based on that, we have other themes that we developing right now, like having a global partnership with LGBTQ organization, with Jews of color participate, with women's emphasize women leadership, and more and more. And I think in the end of the day, our mission here is to see how we connect people in a way that you connect them from the place they are. We're not looking to change anyone. We're not looking to move anyone from his spot to another spot. We're looking to see how many opportunities and possibilities we have in our capacity to connect Jews to each other wherever they are and with Israel. And I guess you already know, and whoever is a newcomer like me and doesn't know yet, you will find out how exciting and wonderful is the work we do here in just working on connecting people with each other. And the partnership platform, it's a great tool, a strategic tool, but also a great tool on the ground to do it in a way that you can dream whatever you want to dream and implement it, because you have your own steering committee. So the local community, the local partnership can decide and think together and dream together where we want to take it forward when you talk about the collective, the Jewish people, and how we connect it. And above that, I would like to see, you know, what is the added value of the Jewish Agency as a big organization, an umbrella that work, you know, globally and have the ability to convey people, to see how the local can be global and how we can even leverage that impact to a global sense, and how we can bring the partnership to work professionally together, to bring professionals from this table with professionals from Miami and from, you know, Cleveland and Pittsburgh that we work with, to dream together as well, to have a wider table, not only around the local community that you do. And I'm certain that we can do that, and we can grow even more than what we do today, because we have a great staff on the ground and we have a great partners as you are. And we look forward to more initiative and more possibilities that we can connect with each other and with other Jews around the globe. Toda rabba for having me. That was really, really short, but hopefully next time that you're here, I will come to see you in person. Toda rabba.
Toda, Pnina. Stay with us a few more minutes. And Elisha, where are you? Elisha, our Israeli chair, will say a few words, please.
There we go, unmuted. So thank you very much, Pnina, and thank you, Michelle and Efrat. On behalf of my co-chair, my amazing co-chair, Leslie Kramer, and myself, I'd like to review the first 6 months of our tenure. For myself, I'm getting to know a whole new world of people and organizations whom I very much look forward to meeting in person. Much of what the partnership as we knew it was upended this past year. The COVID reality remains a factor, and it is unclear when international travel will become something that we can plan for. That said, through these past 18 months, partnership programming has flourished as we took advantage of the virtual world to engage with each other and execute opportunities of connection through a variety of activities. This world crisis has shortened the distance between us and has increased the types of connections and conversations that we have. The recent Gaza operation and riots in mixed cities such as Akko were another blow to all of us. Anger, sadness, disappointment, frustration, fear, and many questions still remain. We plan to host a series of roundtables to discuss shared society, in order to begin talking to each other and sorting out what may be possible steps for the future in the context of the partnership. The recent Gaza operation also seems to have been the catalyst for a renewed wave of anti-Semitic incidents in the US, and we have similar feelings of frustration, fear, anger, and disappointment. We're excited for today's breakout sessions, where we will discuss these recent events and plan how we move forward. As we review the budget for 2022, we believe that there is no limit to what we can accomplish together. We look forward to rolling out our sleeves and working with you. Thanks to each of you for being here today and taking a stake in the future of this wonderful partnership. I would like to extend a special thanks to all of our great volunteers, professionals, and the management team for its leadership. We wish you all a successful and informative COC. May we continue to go together from strength to strength. I'd also like to read now a personal note from Leslie. So pretend that I'm Leslie, although I'm not as pretty as she is. Looking to our American communities, this year we've sought to take advantage of remote meetings and create a vehicle by which our American volunteers can congregate and coalesce. I've enjoyed immensely connecting personally with over 30 passionate American volunteers, plus many of our professionals, and have enjoyed getting to know each of you. In the face of both illness and the conflict in Israel in May, we convened our first American Volunteer Leadership Council as planned in June. I look forward to continuing those meetings and using them as an opportunity to learn from one another and to have significant and meaty discussions over matters pertinent to our partnership. Through this group, we hope to build a structured network of active volunteer leaders of our partnership. End of quote. On a personal note, this is me. I trust you will all join me in wishing Leslie a speedy recovery. And thank you very, very much, all of you, for being here. I see 56 windows that are backed by real people behind them. And that's very exciting, and I think it's very significant. So thank you all very much.
תודה רבה, Elisha. Thank you very much. As you can imagine, there is a lot of stress to organize such a meeting. And last time it was the first time ever Zoom, and now it's been a while. But really chatting with you at the beginning and opening, you know, and seeing everybody, we know that we are such a warm family, and it's so nice to be here. We do prefer to meet in person, hopefully soon. We did so much during the past year, and the one thing that happened last a month ago, June, there was a solidarity mission from Des Moines, and Bob Goldberg, the CEO of the Federation in Des Moines, will tell us in 2-3 minutes. Please, Bob, how was it?
It was terrific. What's next? No, thank you. It's so great to see everybody. You know, a lot of people have asked, how did you make it happen? And the simple answer, as I said, when people got on early, we said yes. The ceasefire, I think, was announced on a Friday, May 21st, and late that afternoon, I got a call from our friend Daniel at the Consul General's office in Chicago, and he said, Bob, it would be terrific if you could go to Israel and show solidarity. I said, I love that idea, Daniel. When are we talking about? He said, now. I said, are we talking like in the fall, later? And no, he says now, like this week. I said, okay. And it just so happened that we had a board meeting scheduled for that Sunday. And so by that Monday, we had bought tickets. So literally from Friday afternoon call to Monday afternoon, we had purchased 7 plane tickets from a select group of leaders in our community. Then we had to figure out what we were going to do. And thanks to Sharon and Bracha and Heidi, Albert and Efrat and Orit, who provided us home hospitality, we started getting plans in motion. And our goal was really simple. It was to wrap our collective communal arms around our friends who had just had this traumatic experience. We wanted them to know that they're not alone, that we see them, we hear them, we care about them, it's really what partnership to me is all about. And we had an amazing experience, from meeting with representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to meeting with our partnership team, to touring Akko and seeing the destruction firsthand, and hearing from faith leaders and community leaders. The city of West Des Moines happens to have an official sister city relationship with Mate Asher. So we also leveraged that and had a lot of time with Moshe Davidovich, the mayor of Mate Asher, and his staff, and they were incredibly welcoming and kind. Alicia, who was amazing, hosted us for a dinner at his house. We toured or met with folks from Youth Futures. We met with Ahmed at Shektanoon. We heard from a lot of different perspectives about what had happened. We heard a lot of people that said we want it to be better, but we also heard a lot of different perspectives on what was the cause of the issue. There is a lot of lost trust. There is a lot of challenge. But what we took away as a group was that there is a great desire on the part of everybody we met with, whether Jewish or Muslim, to find a path forward, to not just coexistence, but shared society, of actually working together and living together. We also had to deal with issues regarding COVID, thanks to Aya, who made a lot of special arrangements to get us into the Galilee Medical Center for tests. I think our group had 6 COVID tests within a week. We still had to spend 2 extra days in Israel because we couldn't get out. It caused a lot of extra stress, but it allowed us to be there while the new government was being sworn in, which was a very special experience for us and added a lot to that experience. For me personally, being relatively new in Des Moines, only being here since December, it was an opportunity for us to have a shared experience with key leaders in our community and to reintroduce them to the love of partnership, which matters so much to me and to our community. We also had the special opportunity of planting a tree at the Partnership Center in memory of Mark Finkelstein. As many of you know, Mark was the director of our JCRC here in Des Moines for 23 years. He passed away suddenly at the end of 2019. His passing has been a huge loss for our community. Partnership meant a lot to Mark, and to be able to plant a tree in his memory at the Partnership Center with our group, with the partnership staff and friends, was very meaningful. We took that experience, we came back, we printed up a nice little brochure of our trip with write-ups from our participants that we sent out as a supplement with our Jewish press to really educate our community about what we experienced, to try to inform them a little bit about what our friends there in the Western Galilee are living through. I'm glad that we went. It was for all the right reasons. I hope everybody invests in being face-to-face with each other. These type of environments and experiences are meaningful and wonderful, but it in no way can replace being together, hugging, sharing a meal, sharing stories. And I'm very grateful to the staff, to Bracha and Sharon, to Aya, to Michael Aronson, to Alicia, to Albert, and to Orit, and to Efrat. And I also want to say Leslie Kramer, I owe a big thanks to as well, because Leslie was supposed to be with our group. She wanted very much to be with our group and was planning to be with our group, and we held her in our thoughts the entire time and tried to keep her engaged, and so she was with us in spirit.
Thank you so much. So what a year we had. We have a short video to share. We feel that there was a big leap in the partnership. So that's how we call it, leap of partnership. Gil, please.
Really a walker. and she is the daughter.
Whoever in the 19th century living in Hungary.
And Jacob again. So, Jacob, I'll tell you a little bit.
We have 3 40-barrel fermenters, these smaller gentlemen right here. And then back in the corner,
you can see paintings, and some of these were done by teenagers from the consortium communities.
With the Western Gallery is essential to everything we do in Louisville. We are proud to have been one of the first communities in the consortium to join.
Thank you for being on here. It's really an honor to be a part of this.
Happy Hanukkah. Partnership Together has provided a community that people in Buffalo can build relationships with, connect with, and really become family with.
Hi, I'm Alicia Flux. I was born and raised in Kibbutz Beit Emek in the Western Galilee. I'm pleased to be co-chairing with Leslie Craig and look forward to meeting all of you in person once travel returns to our reality.
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Welcome.
37 different projects, which bring people together from 3 different continents.
I thought I'd bring a little humor to this Shabbat.
Love it, you guys. Love it. Leslie, woohoo.
And
oh, Heidi.
I'm proud to work so closely with the incredible staff and volunteers in the Western Galilee because of their tremendous success in bringing Israel to all of us.
I'm very proud about our
I have a dream that one day a little Israeli boy will be holding hands with an Arab boy walking out.
So it looks like we did something right, okay? Which makes me believe that my work didn't just been wasted.
and for dreams come true.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Well, we're come to the end of our tour, so why don't we all say goodbye to our friends in the partnership. Bye. Friends, come and visit us in Buffalo soon. We love you.
Love you, Lehitraot.
So just to give a little bit of, Plina spoke about the energy of this partnership. So yeah, that's us. The energy of this partnership is amazing. To frame a little bit the next, the rest of the meeting, so we are running 10 minutes late, which is not so bad. So Bracha and I are going to do now a quick review of for newcomers, and just to remind you know who are we. We're going to do it shorter, Bracha, than we plan, and basically everything is in our website, in the booklet, in the book of policies. So if it's too fast to some of you, just let us know and we will send the information. And after that, we will do a review of all the 6 committees and what happens in them. We want to make sure that all our chairs and staff that work really hard will have a stage. Then we'll have a break, and then we'll have a session about going forward with all the changes that we are having. And at the end, we'll do the budget approve process. So Gil, can you please share our matzeget? Thank you so much. Next. So first of all, my name is Sharon Chayet. I'm the director of the partnership, who, if someone here doesn't know who I am. Few tips about the Zoom. We're going to skip that. Please skip that. Just the one thing that it's important for us to tell you is that at the breakout rooms, you don't have to do anything. You will be sent to the rooms. Meeting goals also very straightforward, and the most important thing is connect among ourselves. Next, please. Who we are a partnership under the Jewish Agency organization umbrella, partnership of 19 communities, 16 as a consortium in Midwest US, and Budapest is our European community, and 2 communities in Israel, Akko and Mate Asher. Next, please. The structure of the partnership is based on 6 theme areas of interest and 6 committees that basically all our work is divided into those committees: resource development, medical, community, education, and academic and young adult. For each committee, there is a professional in the staff, I'm going to mention it soon, and volunteer lay leader chairs and champions, and all of you, of course, that taking part of our projects and the leadership of the committee. Next, please. This is the organizational structure of the partnership. I'm going to go quickly through all of it, but there is a leadership group, management, then community council, which is us, the 6 committees, marketing, communication, operation, finance, and then our summit, a yearly summit. Next, please. In the leadership, we have the 2 chairs, the American chair, the Israeli chair, and the consortium director and the partnership of the director of the whole partnership. Next, please. In the management is the leadership, and then we have 2 or 3 professionals from the communities. We have a financial review chair. We have 1 or 2 community professionals, which I said, I'm sorry, and we have from the treasurer community, because we have budget in the US, we also have a representative. Next, please. The community council is what we are now, the COC. This is when we meet. Basically, the community council meet once a year. This is the 2nd time again that we meet virtually. Hopefully next year it makes a big difference when we meet one-on-one. And basically at the COC, we approve the project and the planning and the budget for the following year. Next, please. And the summit is a meeting also once a year. Again, we haven't met since COVID. We are hoping to meet in Budapest in the autumn of 2022. And the summit is really more to meet and engage and celebrate the partnership. Next, please. The dream team is the staff that sit in Western Galilee and in Budapest, and I quickly want to give everybody a quick credit. This is all of this is in the booklet, so I'm not going to go over it, but I just want to call your name. So next, please. Avital Bendro, Living Bridge Coordinator, 12 years in the partnership and responsible for the Community Engagement Committee. Woo! Yay! Heidi Benish, 21 years in the partnership, plus minus. I'm not sure if it's 21 or 22. Heidi has been here almost from the beginning, responsible these days to the medical committee, the academic committee, resource development and special delegation. Thank you, Heidi. Next, please. Woo! Noam is our new comer. Noam live in Akko, just joined less than 2 months ago and responsible for the education committee for the Israel Young Adult Forum and also help us a lot on the technology side. Welcome, Noam. Hedi, 5 years in the partnership. Hedi is both Israeli and, first of all, Hungarian and Israeli, speaks wonderfully Hebrew, Hungarian, English, and Hedi responsibilities in Budapest Connection, Young Adult Committee, Sliding Door, and Cafe Olam. Next, please. Gil Klempert, 6 years at the partnership, responsible for marketing and communication. This is his new role. He was up to a few weeks ago responsible for education and young adult in Israel. Thank you, Gil, for all the technology work that you are doing for the partnership. Next, please. Bracha, and in the partnership, you'll hear Bracha after me since the beginning. And Bracha is the director of the consortium. And she's also responsible for Tikkun Olam and over and above raising. And me, I don't have to say, in charge of like all this operation. Next, please. It's really important for us to let you know all the technology and all the different communication and that we have. And we hear from a lot of people that they don't know what's going on. Our website is updated, up to date, and every week we send a weekly at the beginning of the year. It comes from me at the end, at the beginning of the week, it comes from me. At the end of the week, it comes from Bracha. So if you read the weekly, the Bracha's update on Fridays, and you look at our website, you should be pretty much updated about what's going on here. Next, please. Oh, that's it. Bracha, your window. Bracha. Okay, is Bracha here?
Okay. Yes. Hi. Hi, everybody. Good to be here. Great to see you. Even on these little, director of the consortium. Just a little update on that slide. So thank God I can say that now I'm not the Safta of 18, I'm the Safta of 21.
Well,
So
the
Partnership Center. Yeah. So the first and only so far partnership to have, you've seen it, and an even better view to the outside on the most beautiful coast of Israel. And we hope that after COVID, we'll be able to really think about some things that we can do in the center that we weren't able to do before. Next, please. Yo.
Bracha audio is a bit choppy. Bracha, can you do anything? Because you're not clear when you talk all the time.
Can you hear me?
Now, yes. Now, no.
Yes. So I'm just going to review and help us feel good about the progress we have made from our last strategic planning process. And when we decided that these were new areas of focus: leadership development, multiculturalism, and social responsibility, which have all the latter two have really joined together. And we hope after the riots in Akko that we will very soon convene some roundtable discussions among Arabs and Jews here in the Western Galilee, so that we can talk and think together what the partnership should do in the future. Next, please. And we define new audiences, and we're working very much with young adults, with empty nesters and retirees, and business people. And our latest initiative that's still in its very first stages, Alicia has brought an idea of creating a business club. And anybody who's interested in such an idea should contact us as we begin to talk about this. Next, please. I think this was the most important thing we did, which was define our core competencies, what the partnership does best. And although a lot of it is face-to-face and personal, I think what we learned through this COVID is that even though we can't meet, we can still have that quality of face-to-face. We found that COVID enabled us to convene many more groups, many more people, have more planning processes with all our champions out there in our many communities. And I think that keeps us going and doing the things we really do best. Next, please. Tikkun Olam, to remind you that a very important part of what the partnership does is also giving opportunities for over and above funding beyond our partnership budget, and which enables us as the consortium of 16 communities to help many NGOs, special projects of the partnership, to help many things happen in the Western Galilee that would not happen without our involvement. So this is very much brings to the Western Galilee and makes something that the federations and the people of the communities can be very proud of of participating in. Next, please. And which means that up to the end of 2020, we have over $35 million that the consortium has raised over the 20-some years of our partnership. And I think that's something that we can all be very proud of. Next, please. Just to tell you again about the booklet is all virtual. You can push on any one of these committees and get directly to your committee. Next, please, the slides. You'll see each committee and each project. The next, please. You can see every project, and every project has the contact person. So if it's not completely understood by what's written on the page, which many are a little difficult to understand, you know who to contact, and you can always contact us for more information. But really everything that we plan to do as we finish 21 and roll into 22 is all in your booklet. And now we're going to have the great opportunity to hear from our six committees in all different ways about what they have done and what they are planning to do. You'll see each committee has decided to present differently, and we thank in advance all the chairs and our staff people for creating these opportunities. We know in Zoom everything has to be very tight, and to try to, in a few minutes time, to say everything that we wanted to do that we used to take much more time, which we might just draw some conclusions from that. Okay, so our first one up, okay, education. Okay, this will be our education committee. Go for it.
Okay, so hello everyone, nice to meet you. My name is Noam and I'm the new education coordinator. Over the last couple of months, I was able to meet so many people, both virtually and face-to-face, and I have to say it was amazing, and I got to know all of the amazing projects and doing that engages adults and youth and children. And although all of this has been happening for quite some time, a lot of it is because of two amazing women, the chairs, Tony Ziv and Jessica Dirick. So Tony, the stage is all yours.
Hello, dear friends. Nice to meet you. I'm Tony Ziv, the Education Committee's chair for Israel. First of all, I want to thank Gil Klempert for his contribution to the committee, Education Committee, and wish you, Noam, a lot of success with that. The last 15 months were very hard for all of us, especially in the education. Both schools and after-school activities were hit very, very hard by the COVID pandemic. In the midst of this, a new partnership education program success in an innovative way. The Generation to Generation program twinning between Heston Hebrew Academy in Indianapolis and the Gvanim School in Ena Mifratz have been truly inspiring. Generation to Generation is an excellent program cooperate with Anu Jewish Museum and Ministry of Education. The two generations are linked by family history. The young students explore family history and collective narratives through the stories of their grandparents. With a great human connection and using an innovative technological platform, the twinning schools managed to do some amazing work in G2G project and startup program. I will let you see them and let them talk for themselves.
Hello, my name is Michael Voskobonik from the Heston Hebrew Academy of Indianapolis. My students and I were privileged to collaborate with students and teachers from the Gvanim School in the Generation to Generation project introduced to us by the Anu Museum. We met with our counterparts several times via Zoom and discussed various aspects of our collaborations. In between the meetings, our students conducted interviews with their grandparents, created Google Earth virtual family tours, as well as interactively depicted interviews and family stories in the virtual reality program called COSpaces. As the result of our work, our generation-to-generation stories are being published on the ANU website at this time. We are planning to continue this project with a new group of students next year. Thank you.
Students and their grandparents, as well as the school teachers, took part in this project and managed to create a sense of closeness, belonging, and meaningful learning despite the challenging times we face. Thanks to this project, we managed to bring English to center stage and show our students how much English is relevant to every aspect of our lives, be it for using technological tools or for communicating via Zoom. No doubt, this was a very special and meaningful experience.
In the startup project, we collaborate with a marine school in Akko and the Dayton community. Our purpose is to connect high school kids on the platform of business, of being creative, of creating their own product and giving them an opportunity to practice being part of one big company, learning what is it to be a startup company, how do you do it, how do you develop. For us as partnership, the most important thing here is the connection between the youth that are going to be involved in this project.
Okay, so I'm very excited to show you some of our programs for this upcoming year. We hope it will be a year of immense growth. We want to maintain and to enlarge our twinning programs with 14 different twinnings between schools. We want to open a youth leadership program that opens just in a few months. We have educators events, and we have upcoming and outgoing delegations for educators and youth, and we have the Zimria event, and we have so many more things, and you have some numbers here that you can see. With this, I'm going to introduce Jessica, who couldn't be with us today. She's the US co-chair. So I let her recording speak.
Hello, my name is Jessica Dierek, and I'm the Education Committee's United States Chair. As Tony previously stated, we are both leaders in our individual and unique education systems. Just as in Israel and Hungary, the US also had great hurdles in successfully educating students in the country. We also found great gaps in learning when returning to school last fall. Although the situation was not ideal in the United States and Israel, our teachers, students, families, and partnership members did what we know how to do best. We worked together in creative and innovative new ways to make the impossible somehow possible. With programs like Generation to Generation, we look forward to expanding with innovative ideas this year and into the future. We are thrilled that our student and teacher delegations can once again continue. Putting feet on the ground in each other's countries is what makes our partnership thrive. Local federations, be ready for a call to action in the next few weeks. Pick up your phones, answer your emails. We're ready for new ideas and new people. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Noam. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Jessica. And thank you, Gil, for your work before. And we're going to move on to the Resource Development Committee.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Resource Development Committee. Today, we will focus on the activities of the Western Galilee Friends of the Partnership. I'm Orit Katzenshanguri. We will start with a short video clip which explains who we are and what we have been doing in the last couple of years. After the clip, I will share with you our current position and where we are heading. Gil, the movie, please. I've been involved in the partnership since 2008, where I traveled to the States with leadership group, and I found out two things. One, the partnership needs a home, and we now have a home, which is amazing. The second one, a phrase that I learned in Austin, we live here, we give here. With that in mind, came back in Israel, established the Friends of the Partnership.
But for now I find it's only in my dreams I can change the world. I'll be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good. Baby, if I could change the world.
Thank you, Gil. Hi, Peggy. As you saw, we are a group of people who get together, do networking, and tikkun olam. Unfortunately, due to the COVID, the last year, we barely could meet and carry out activities. We did though meet for Hanukkah, met up in the spring toward Akko, and last week we met at Uri Buri's temporary restaurant to hear him and to show him our support and talk about future activities and to stay connected. And this is what we are heading locally. Actually, we are here to do good and to show support to the residents of our region. As for example, we recently again went to Uri Buri, showed him our support. As well, we have heard about soldiers in Shraga. It's a military base near our kibbutz Lochamei HaGetaot. And they could use some bikes to get to the beach during their daily 2 or 3 hours off. And we are now working on raising funds for their bicycles. Our goal is to arrange for 4 to 6 annual activities like these. We also decided that it's time to go through a facilitated process in which we will focus on the identity of our group, focus on why and how to do our partnership communities and activities effectively. And overseas, over the last 6 months, we have held a couple of talks with leaders in the consortium communities and in Budapest to find common interests. Quite nice number of ideas have been raised, and we will within the next month set up a think tank with our friends overseas to examine the ideas of possible future activities among business people and entrepreneurs. For the start, we're looking for a number of 2 to 4 couples overseas to communities to meet with us once a month or every second month through Zoom to discuss topics related to business and entrepreneurship, to ventilate and to discuss and have fun. After a year or so, to do a joint trip, a seminar, and we want to build and strengthen ties between ourselves and our Jewish sisters and brothers abroad. We come with open minds and hearts, and we look forward to you joining us in our, as Bracha says, we're writing the book. So we're writing the book of Friends of the Partnership. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Orit. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Mili. our co-chair, and thank you, Fagi, for your support over so many years. We are now moving to young adults. Young adults, take it away.
Thank you, Bracha, and thank you, everyone. Good to see everyone here. My name is Elon Daniel, and I am the U.S. Young Adult Co-Chair for Partnership. I'm joined with Ori and Ishtvan from Israel and Budapest, respectively. And then our staff is Hedi and Noam, who you all recently met. So welcome, Noam, Hedi, Ishtvan, Ori, and everybody. So we also have Nancy Schwartz, who's not here today. She sends her regards and regrets, but she will be a champion with our committee and will be helping us as we move forward with our goals. So our goal as a committee is to encourage and inspire the next generation of partnership. So fairly straightforward. So helping young adults with their next stage of life, professional life, personal life, but also making it in such a way that is interesting to them. So creating a platform or helping them create the platform so that similar to what partnership has in general, so that it's something that's interesting to them and that will carry on forward into potentially the other committees that are here. So as Bracha had stated before, if you have any questions about our committee, throw them in the chat. I'll try and answer them at the end. But for the time being, I'm going to kick it to Oli, who's going to talk about what's been going on in the Israeli young adult portion.
Hi all, I'm Ori. I'm the Israeli co-chair of the Young Adult Committee. So now in Israel we have the second Young Adult Forum, who is just getting to the end of it. We're trying to start a third group, a third forum of, I'm sorry for the crying in the background noise. So we're heading to a third forum, which we will start in the next year. We have a great Tikkun Olam project that is going on for years since the committee, I think, started. It's a project with the lone soldiers of the area of our region, mostly American lone soldiers. Some are even from the consortium originally. And that's it, I think. I will pass the mic to Ishtvan.
Hello, everybody. This is István Básin from Hungary, Budapest. I am the Young Adult co-chair. And I am really happy and proud that I can report to you Budapest became a very important and active member of our partnership family in the last years. Our Hungarian young adult volunteers contributed to our partnership mission with many different projects like the building bridges and also the around the table. These volunteers not just established this project, but they maintained it for many years. And despite of this pandemic period that we had hopefully behind us, we could not just maintain our membership and keep the attention of the existing participants, but we could also extend our community thanks to the Horizon project that we started in the last fall together. The new Hungarian members started, or they at least started to prepare the new project, what is the P2G roots, that will start next year. And now we would like to share a short video to introduce this new Horizon project.
Hi, I'm Nancy Schwartz from Fort Worth, Texas. Horizon is such a meaningful program that has brought together young adults from across our partnership. We've had the opportunity to learn from great speakers across a range of leadership and identity topics, and really created an environment to discuss our connection to Judaism in Israel, sharing our feelings in an environment where there's no judgment. I'm really excited about the future summit program, where everyone will get to further our experiences together in person.
Hi, my name is Elisheva Salomon Lerman. I was born in Ethiopia and grew up in Israel. I moved to Southern 10 years ago. I'm an active board member of our Jewish community in St. Joseph Valley. I have learned about Horizon through our Jewish Federation newsletter. This is the most interesting program. You get to meet people from all over the world and learn about Jewish young adults life experience as well. The program is very informative, well organized and prepared, and particularly the finale part, which I really liked and I appreciated. Tikkun Olam, that you have given a chance to give back to your community.
Yeah, so as you can see, Horizons was a very successful project that we did over the past year and was our focus over the last year. And our hope was to be able to meet in person, having these different meetups connecting together in Israel, hopefully this fall, but that wasn't going to happen. So in the future, moving forward, we are looking forward to eventually being able to meet in person with a seminar in Israel, hopefully in 2022. We're also hoping to have a second meetup at some point, as well as other American meetups. That's something we haven't done in the past, is connecting our American Jewish communities. I know our American Jewish communities have been very well connected to Budapest and the Western Galley, but we also have the opportunity, being as close as we are, to connecting better from within. So beyond that, those are sort of the things we're focusing on. We also have programs for mothers, new mothers, and then continuing our online meetings with Zoom, because that has obviously been a successful piece of the puzzle for us. And then the Tikkun Olam projects that we created within our communities as part of the Horizon programs, we'll hopefully see some continuation with that. And who knows, maybe those things start to become more a part of the larger partnership. There was a question in the chat about how do we define young adult. It's defined as 25 to 45. Obviously, I'm starting to push a little bit on the edge of that. So there's some flexibility on the edges, but loosely 25 to 45. Again, thank you.
Okay, thank you. We thank the Young Adult Committee. We thank Ori, Ishtavan, Ilan, Nancy, and our staff, Hedy, and Noam, our newest staff member. So thank you. I want to tell you all, for the speakers that are yet to come, we are running late, and we are on a Zoom, and we have an endpoint. So if anybody who is speaking, try to speak faster. Okay, next up is our medical committee.
Well, Bracha, I thought of apologizing for not being creative as the previous committees and come up with videos and everything, but now that you are saying to cut, lucky I didn't do that.
See?
So yeah.
So saying that, hi everyone, I am Aya Kagade and I'm the Israeli co-chair for the medical committee. I will be speaking also on behalf of Dr. Sandy Bidner, our American co-chair, who unfortunately at the last minute couldn't make it and couldn't join with us. Next slide. Slide. Anything? Slides we did do. Next one, I think we have done that. Okay, so basically what I am the new co-chair actually since February this month, and Sandy joined me on March this year, and Sandy joined me on March this year, and both of us we've been focusing on basically giving a frame to a different concept of a committee, and basically focusing on expanding the committee not only into co-chairs but also have a committee members. So what we've been doing over this time is doing dozens of calls and Zoom meetings and phone calls and email exchanges with medical professionals from our community, introducing them the partnership, introducing them the medical committee, and actually offering them to become members, official members. And I am delighted to officially present to you the committee members of our medical committee. And as you can see, we have pretty good representatives from at least half of the communities. I think we have 9 community members here, and I think this is a great achievement for us. And we are holding our monthly meeting, and hopefully the next meeting, which will be held in August, we will come with a more working plan to that. Next slide. Meantime, we've been doing some activities and holding events. Some of them reached out to the general public. As you can see, we had a COVID-19 event with representatives from community. We had from Indianapolis, we had a doctor from our medical center and a doctor from Budapest talking about COVID, sharing the experiences, information, and we had like over 100 people participating in that. And we also had a more focused on medical oriented events, such as Dr. Nuremberg sharing his knowledge and experience with our orthopedic department. Next slide. And here you have actually a list of topics and shared interests. So what we did over those talks, we actually tried to explore what are the needs or what are the wishes or what the communities would like to focus in terms of having medical issues as a shared interest. What we also did is we talked with people from not people of the hospital. I sent an email to over 2,400 employees of the hospital, introducing them to the partnership and really and actually asking them what would they be interested to work and share and exchange experience and knowledge. And here is a summary of the topics that have more consensus and wish to participate and wish to promote. The ones that are highlighted in red, they are already ongoing activities, the projects that we are on the finalizing stages, and hopefully we will see them coming through in the very near future. And the next meeting that we are going to hold will be focused on those topics, and we will basically try to come up with, narrow down at least 3 or 4 topics so that we can focus this year, and part of them will be forwarded to the next year. I think that is for the medical committee. Thank you very much for your attention. Was that quick, Bracha?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Aya. Thank you, Dr. Sandy Bidner from Austin, who was not able to be with us. And thank you, Heidi, and thank you, Sharon Mayan from the Galilee Medical Center. And just a moment to remember one of your previous staff members of the Galilee Medical Center who worked with the partnership for many years, who left us this year, Judy Joknowitz, who died a few months ago. So we do remember her for her wonderful work with the partnership.
A true mentor.
Correct. And now we move to the academic committee. Please take it away.
Hi, everybody. I am driven by fear, and I heard Bracha and Sharon on time. So I'm going to get right to it. I want to first thank so very much our staff member, Heidi Benish. I am Marcy Paul. I am the JCRC director in Dayton and moved to Dayton just a year and a half ago, right before COVID. So I'm transitioning out of my volunteer position as the academic co-chair, US chair for the academic committee with Dr. Janan Faraj Falah, who could not be here today. So to get to it, we also have our champions, our committee champions, Dr. Jeanette Gabriel from the Schwab Center at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, and also Dr. Zoltan Halberman from the Budapest University of Jewish Studies. We've been working very closely with them and with Dr. Karmit Gal from the Western Galilee College and numerous other people. I want to first go to a video from Dr. Janan. Please, Gil.
Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Janan Falah, the co-chair of the academic committee. I want to tell you something, that despite the corona pandemic and the difficulty in closing, we were able to develop the academic committee's plans. We have developed new programs, a blended course and an academic project, photography and dialogue. Involved in the two courses are students from Israel, from the Western Galilee College, and from Budapest and the United States, from Dayton University and the Schwab Center, Omaha University. Both courses were very successful. There was collaboration between the lectures, between the students, and of course between the partnerships together members. And we managed to achieve the goal of the partnership, that's people to people. So let's create the connections together to develop and build new programs and the projects in the spirits of the academia and the partnership. Come and join us for new academic projects.
When we started the partnership, the academic committee, we reached out to engage other of our consortium committees, our consortium cities, to engage university academics. And this past year, we engaged 75 students from the University of Dayton in Dayton, Ohio, which we have a very close relationship with the University of Nebraska at Omaha. We had a blended university course, and we also had a student dialogue course, very different in nature, but very powerful. And we did this with the Western Galilee College and the Budapest University of Jewish Studies. And what I'd like to do now is share videos with one of our students, who's Chen, who will talk about her experience being a student, and then Dr. Halberman, who is our professor at Budapest University. Take it away, Gil.
My name is Chen. I'm a student in the Western Galilee College in Israel. During the past year, I got to participate in the Student Dialogue program, and it was one of the most amazing experiences I ever had. I got to meet and discuss with other Jewish students from different countries. We talked about daily issues, and it was very interesting to hear different opinions. I hope to get to do it again sometime.
I am Zoli from the Jewish University at Budapest, from Hungary. And our idea of the summer school is that we will do fun program, a good program that is a big adventure for the students, but also it will be meaningful. We want to do a lot of discussions, city tours, lectures, interesting activities for the students to see the Jewish community of Budapest, museums. But also they work together, they will have a joint project and they know each other better, so that way they will be more open and tolerant people, and I hope they will enjoy it.
So what Zoli was talking about is a possible summer course that we would have students from all of our consortium communities participate for their students. And so we will have more on that coming soon. And then also our adult partnership academia non-credit lectures led by Dr. Gabriel of Omaha, where we will provide 4 lectures a year or in the coming year of different topics. So most important right now is we're looking for our partners, we're looking for our champions in your communities who in the academic world would like to get involved in the academic committee. Just let us know, and I'm done. Take it away, Bracha.
Thank you. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you, Janan. And thank you, Heidi, for being taking care of 3 different committees. So we're moving on now to the last but not least, for sure, to our Community Engagement Committee. Take it away.
Hi, I'm LaDonna Fishkin from Peoria, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Noah Tene from Nesamim in the Western Galilee.
And we are the chairs of the P2G Community Engagement Committee.
Hi, I'm Avital, and I work with these 2 amazing ladies as the coordinator of the P2G Community Engagement Committee.
We would like to share with you personal stories that build our joint global multicultural community.
Let's start with Devorah Orloff from Toledo, Ohio, and Maria Cliff from Budapest. They both virtually met through the Create Together program, and following 6 months of virtual exchanges ideas, they created a wonderful art piece that demonstrates the connection that was created between them and the respect that they both have for their personal and community history. They hope to finally meet face-to-face next year in Budapest in the Create Together seminar.
Harry Berman from Springfield, Illinois, is a dedicated volunteer and a member of our book club. He had an extraordinary idea to involve a very talented writer from his community, Gabriel Savit, in our P2G book club. Thanks to this connection, Israelis, Hungarians, and Americans read his beautiful book, Anna and the Swallow Man, and enjoyed listening to him talking about his writing experience.
Let me tell you about Ruth Mintz. Ruth is the head of the Omar Conservatory of Music. She came to Israel 2.5 years ago through the Music Together program and fell in love with our region and our partnership. During COVID, Ruth and Gary Levinson, concertmaster at the Dallas Symphony Orchestra from Fort Worth, Texas, led the Nigun Together program, where American musicians and teachers volunteered to give monthly virtual lessons to the music students at the Akko and Mate Asher conservatories. We would like to quote the director of the Akko Conservatory, who said about this program, "Partnership has a place of honor in all the work that took place this year, a work that was a ray of light in the darkness of the COVID."
Jody Goldstein from Buffalo, New York, wanted to travel to Israel and teach English to unprivileged children. Once COVID broke out, we changed the concept to have virtual informal meetings with different languages volunteer facilitators who practice the different languages with those who wish to gain more confidence. What a wonderful experience for both facilitators and participants.
Samantha Muzuz was the Director of Learning at Congregation Agudat Achim in San Antonio, Texas. She came up with a great idea to virtually bring women together from Israel, Budapest, and the US and celebrate the beginning of the month, Rosh Chodesh. Our partnership connected her with the new Reform Rabbi of Mata Asher, and together they created a wonderful program which connects women to the Jewish calendar and introduced us to local, interesting entrepreneurs like the boutique dried fruit factory for Tu B'Shvat and the founder of a bilingual kindergarten who spoke about unconditional love for the 9th of Av.
Rosalie Levinson, Senior Research Professor in Indiana University of Law, is one of the 10 amazing participants in the think tank of the Sliding Doors program, who are responsible and facilitating the breakout rooms in our global virtual meetings and leading the local group in Northwest Indiana. Rosalie shares with our think tank about the heartwarming meetings where they are connecting with one another locally too.
Rit Cohen is a dedicated volunteer who took part both in the Women Leading a Dialogue program and the Young Adult Forum. She understands the importance of exposing more Israelis to global Jewry and the Americans to Israel. Therefore, when we shared with her the idea of the Tfutzot Basalon program to take part in a dialogue with Buffalo, Austin, and the Western Galilee, she was very excited and ready to represent our region.
Let me tell you about Scheherazade, a religious Muslim woman from the Arab village El Aramshe in Mata Asher. She decided to take part in the Women Leading a Dialogue group because she understands that in order to live here in peace, we first have to learn to listen to one another. Scheherazade has a son in the Army and can't wait to visit the U.S. communities to learn more about their connection with Israel and represent herself, her village community, and the Western Galilee as a multicultural, diverse home to 5 religions.
These and many more are examples of participants and leaders of the various programs that happened this year. That makes up a wonderful human mosaic that creates our community.
Thank you for listening. We hope to see you with us in one of our many programs next year.
Thank you. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Donna. And thank you, Avital, our coordinator. Okay, we are going to have a slightly shortened break, so you just do everything faster. Stay tuned with us. Just turn off your video on your mute, and please be back at 7:30. We have a very exciting second part of this COC, and we'll have the chance to meet Ronit, and we'll have the chance to all be in breakout rooms and talk to each other. So go quick, get a drink, cup of coffee, whatever you need. 7:30, which is 12:30 and 11:30, depending on where you're at. So thank you. We'll be back. See you soon.
Okay, so I'm here just eating my lunch. Who's that? Kathy. The Teavon, Kathy. So I assume that some people can hear us and we just don't see you. We are running a bit late, so we don't want to make it even later. So we'll continue right now. Our second part is really, we want to hear you. The last year and a half, I've brought new challenges to the communities of our partnership. The operation in Gaza, the riots in Akko and other areas of Israel, and strongly affected the communities in the Western Galilee, new surge of anti-Semitism, in the US and in Budapest, still affecting the communities in the US also, and COVID-19 pandemic is still here. It's still affecting our life and society, and things really changed. These changes have been incredibly challenging for many stakeholders. In some of the cases, they also open up a new opportunity for leading and new ideas and work in organization communities. The goal of this session is to pose and ask what has changed. How do we as a community of communities understand the new reality, and how should we continue from here? So at this session, we invite you. You are the change maker in the Jewish community of our consortium and around the world. We invite you to observe that new reality, understand, talk about it, and hopefully that will take us to the next stage of our work in the partnership. So I want to introduce Ronit Haid, or maybe Haid, Ronit. Ronit is the Vice President and Director of the Center for Israeli and Jewish Identity at the Shalom Hartman Institute. Ronit comes to the Shalom Hartman Institute after more than 20 years of developing and leading initiative that addresses Israel's most complex social challenges. Ronit served as the Executive Director of Shatil, the capacity building arm of the New Israel Fund. Prior to assuming her role as director, Ronit led the social justice initiative at the Religious Freedom Project at Shatil, providing organization consultancy of dozens of organizations, coordinating coalition and campaign, and facilitating training for organization and activists who work to strengthen Israel democracy. Ronit holds an MPA from the Harvard Kennedy School as a Wexner Fellow and an MA in Social Psychology from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. Ronit, the window is yours.
Thank you, Sharon. And hi, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. It's really wonderful to see you. And as a direct continuation from the beautiful stories and images that we saw in the last session, a lot of questions arise. And when we ask ourselves, where are we going? We always need to stop and ask, well, where are we now? And this is what we will be doing in this session. This will be an opportunity, as you and as Sharon said, as a community of communities are thinking about what is to come next. What are the next strategic points that you want to look at? We first want to stop, pause, and examine with our heart and with our minds, where are we now? A lot has changed in the last year and a half. A lot of things in the reality have changed, but a lot of things also in the way we understand reality has changed. So we want to provide you the opportunity to talk about this, to listen with curiosity, and discuss what are the emerging themes. And we are looking around, we will be looking at 3 major themes, and you will be breaking out into small groups around these 3 themes of the joint work for building shared society in Israel, and especially in the Western Galilee. You will be looking at the waves of anti-Semitism and how are we dealing and working with that, and how do we understand that, and how do we talk about that within our communities, and about what has changed after the pandemic and what we've learned and what we want to keep and maintain from what we've learned from the pandemic. You will have 25 minutes in small groups to really examine and try to flesh out the complexity. We're not looking for answers. We're not looking for solutions. We want you as groups to map the issues, to try to see what are the major questions that arise for you. What are the initial insights that you can discuss? After 25 minutes, we will meet together back in this plenary in our public square and report back from the groups in order to see what emerges for the partnership in moving forward. So each group has a wonderful facilitator who will be working with you. I will be hopping in and out of the breakout sessions. So if I suddenly appear on your screen and then suddenly disappear, please do not be alarmed. That's part of the beauty of Zoom. I don't even have to get out of my chair in order to enter another room. And if there are any questions, I'm also available and your facilitators will know how and where to reach me. So Gil, if you can send us to the breakout rooms so we can start the work. So we're all back in our public square in the plenary, and this is just a wonderful opportunity to hear back, give us a glimpse of what was happening in your rooms. Obviously, we will not have time to cover everything. We recorded, and Gil will share in a minute on the screen all the notes that the facilitators took and that bring together all the ideas and thoughts and questions that you brought up in your discussions. But let's have a very quick report back from each group. You will have 90 seconds, a minute and a half, each presenter, just to say what were the highlights of the discussion and the main takeaways from your group. So we'll just start, we'll go through the order of the groups. Gil, would you like to share first all the insights that were recorded? So this is the, I'm not seeing it very clearly. I don't know if other people are seeing it. Maybe this is.
No, it's blurry. It is blurry.
It's blurry.
Oh, that's better. Oh,
okay.
Thank you.
So
there's a big square that, can you get rid of it?
So maybe while Gil is working on the screen, having it not as blurry, popping in and out of the rooms. These are also themes that I heard, and a lot of similarities and a lot of similar needs, not just similarities in what is happening and trends, but also similar needs for discussing, preparing, creating these joint dialogues in order to be more equipped with the knowledge and the ability to explain the complexities on the ground, whether in Israel, in Budapest, or in the United States. So let's start with hearing from from Avital's group. We'll just go through the names of the facilitators, and we want to invite you to share in 90 seconds the main takeaways. All the text that you have here on the screen now will be available to you after the session as well. So the presenter from Avital's group, can you please start?
Hi, everyone. Rob Goldberg from Buffalo. Thank you for the opportunity. So our conversation was great. We had 9 individuals. Everyone had an opportunity to share their comments. And so to sum up, number one, what happens in Israel impacts Jewish communities wherever they may be, however, whatever size they are. And one of the things that came across clearly is that in the States, our 16 communities are all very different from each other. So for instance, in Buffalo, we have a progressive element, we have a right-wing element, there's polarization in our community, not so much so in some other communities. And our federation, for example, got criticized for not being strong enough or swift enough to condemn what was going on in Israel. And so that's one of the things that we came away with. Number two, what we learned is that the violence, particularly around Akko, was not unexpected, but to the degree in which it was experienced was really shocking to Israelis, that that this coexistence is fragile. And I think one of the things that we emphasize is that we understand that in the States as well, is that coexistence is fragile and you have to work at it. And that's why there's community relations efforts that happen in every community in the States, and federations take the lead in that as well. The last thing is that we know it's going to happen again. And so let's get out ahead of it. Let's make sure that we're in communication and dialogue with each other at the very onset, not 3-4 days into whatever the incident is. Boom.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rob. That was an excellent presentation, on time, And very clear, and I think with very clear bullet points for what should we be doing moving forward. So thank you. Next group for that was discussing shared society with Noam, please, the presenter.
Yeah. Hi, this is Daniel from Toledo. Our group had a phenomenal conversation as well. There were a lot of takeaways from it. First, we discussed how the violence in May in Akko and in other mixed cities throughout Israel impacted the work of shared society. And we ultimately believed that neither people, the Jews or the Arabs, are going anywhere. And so we really have two options. We either have to continue to invest in the long, hard, difficult work in shared society, or there's going to be more violence. And none of us, of course, want more violence. We're all of us in America, the partnership in Hungary, and of course in Israel, we're all stakeholders to what happens in Israel. We all care so deeply about Israel, the people of Israel, the safety and security of Israel. And we all, want what's best for Israel. And ultimately that means, people living together in peace. We also discussed some similarities between what's happening in America, between different groups and what happens in Israel. And there are some similarities, there are many differences as well, but I just wanted to highlight that was discussed a little bit. And also we understand that we live, 6,000 or 6,500 miles away. And, what we see, through the news or even speaking to friends might not really always be the reality of what's happening on the ground. And we understand that. And that's why we also really value, our relationship with one another through partnership. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Danielle. And again, we see the theme also of being prepared and working not only when the crisis happens, but how do we look at these trends and the similarities in order to be able to have a joint understanding of what's happening, even though it's in different places, but trends are similar. Thank you very much. And thank you also to Noam's group. We will be moving on to the next group is Marcy's group, working on new waves of anti-Semitism. Who's
yes,
presenting?
Yes, thank you. And of course, my group made me present, which, okay. So here we go. We talked about anti-Semitism mostly in the US and the impact of the recent conflict in Israel. And so we came away with three major points, and please somebody in my group chime in. The first is that we need a clear understanding of the nuances of the terms we use. Anti-Semitism, anti-Israel, and anti-Zionism. They get convoluted and they get compacted into one. And so we as a Jewish community need to understand those definitions first, and then we need to share that understanding to the larger communities. The second is, as a way of also responding to those definitions, is better PR, better media. We don't always take the time and the money to put into having somebody who or a group that really promotes what Israel does and gives to us, not only us in the diaspora, but in Israel as well, and also acknowledging the problems that exist. So that PR to help with anti-Semitism. The last is taking the COL program and expanding it and thinking about it from a different or expanded lens. I'm done.
Thank you, Marcy. Thank you so much. And thank you to your group. And again, I think the question of how do we both navigate internally and understand better the differences, and also how do we bring it back out? Like how do we, it's both the PR, but also how do we talk about it to the larger community and to the society around us. And these are very important issues. Thank you. And then the next group is Bonnie's group, working also on new waves of anti-Semitism.
Thank you, Ronit. I think we had also a really wonderful conversation. Everybody got to share. And truthfully, I'm hearing the same themes from the shared society groups as well as Marcy's group on anti-Semitism. So we basically, we talked about the different anti-Semitic instances that have been happening here in the States, in Budapest and in Israel. And it's almost like whack-a-mole. You know, you figure out one, or you learn by mistake something happens and you're surprised and you try and respond to it when something else comes up. So there's a lot happening that's often unexpected that we have to respond to. And the biggest issue, I'll echo what everybody said, but the biggest takeaway that we had was better dialogue and better understanding. So in getting out of your comfort zone, learning from other people, recognizing that there are different perspectives, and that would the better education and the ability to engage in more productive dialogue will help us here in the States to respond to these instances in meaningful ways. That's it.
Thank you, Bonnie. And you even did it in less than 90 seconds. Kol hakavod. Also, I think one of the things that I want to highlight is how do we take advantage of the fact that we have so many perspectives already within our community of communities, and through that be able to work through the complexities in a more sophisticated way. And I think that is a great opportunity that you are identifying here in the discussion that you had. So thank you very much, and thank you to your group. And then last but not least, the lessons from COVID. We have Michelle first, and then afterwards Bob.
Okay. In our group, I think we all sort of agreed that tragic as this past year and a half has been, that really there is a silver lining, and especially that partnership and partnership programming has benefited from it in our ability to have ongoing programs connecting between the Americans, Hungarians, and the Israelis, something that we just couldn't do before, or we never thought to. So we managed to reach many more people and have a continuous dialogue that goes from either month to month, depending what the programs are, and definitely something that we would want to continue to do. Most of the communities are looking at transferring to hybrid or multi-access programming, where some people will be coming in person, but still giving the ability for people to Zoom in or through some other technology, be able to participate from afar. We have communities that have been investing money to buy the technology, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be very expensive technology that gives that ability, that as a program is happening in person, others can Zoom in and take part. We have found that the being able to do these programs on Zoom is also wonderful for our smaller communities who can benefit from bigger programs that the larger communities are doing, and of course the international participation. So hope I didn't miss anything.
Great, thank you, Michelle. And let's hear Bob's group as well, and then we'll wrap up.
Bong, you're up.
All right, I didn't know another group got the same question, so I mean, it's kind of the same answer, I guess. We all have the same answer to this question about the challenges that COVID puts up against us, about our leveraging technology in Zoom, especially among communities, group ages that usually were not so tech savvy and could have, weren't used to using technology in Zoom, and now because they had to, easier to engage. Exposure to other communities, bringing other communities much more easier, affordability, saving costs of travel, accommodation, and all the rest of it to bring people together. And I think we all also shared that it's not in any way, it doesn't replace the face-to-face encounters. And our biggest dilemma, I guess, every community, I know it's in my community for now as well, is how to proceed from now. Are we going to use this Zoom as a platform, or we're going to try to come back to in-person, programs? And I think the answer is we combine. We do both. So I kind of have now 40 extra seconds. I think I was the quickest.
You are definitely the quickest, and thank you very much for this. I think that both your the last two presentations about what have we learned from the pandemic gives a very interesting packaging to, so how do we move forward in addressing the questions and the needs or the issues that came up in the other groups? Because one of the strongest themes that came up was the need to create ongoing discussion, elaborate together, or give yourselves as a community of communities the opportunity to really dive into these questions. And the technology enables us to do that in ways that we didn't have before. So looking at the complexities and looking at the challenges that we're all facing, I think the main thing that I'm hearing is let's bring together the multitude of eyes and ears that we have here in order to be able to understand the reality together and to move forward in ways that will create the progress that we want to see. And I know that the staff, that the team, Sharon and the team will be taking these ideas and thoughts forward in order to formulate the way for the partnership to be able to really build that into future programming. Sharon, I'll pass it to you because I know that we're very, very short in time.
Wow, 2020, just on time. Thank you, Roni. Thank you so much. We had to do this session a little bit shorter, but less people join at this point. Some people had to leave after the first session, so it ended up just great. Thank you everybody for participation. And as Ronit said, and then as I just wrote in the chat, we will take the questions and everything that was discussed into a next step. You know, how we're going to do our work going forward into 2022 and beyond. We are awaiting for Leslie to heal soon, and with Alicia and Leslie, we hope to go into some kind of a strategic planning in 2022, really to look at on the way that we do things now with all the changes that we have in our life. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ronit. I think Ronit left. Did you leave?
I'm going to say good night. Thank you all and good luck. Wonderful to meet you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ronit.
And we're going to take this next few minutes to approve the budget. Hopefully all of you read the booklet, the new booklet. Alicia, the screen is yours. And Gil, can you please put just the summary budget, just so you know, but it's all in the booklet. Alicia, please.
So thank you, everybody, and thank you for the participation. We still have 40 wonderful virtual windows, and that's, again, very exciting after 2 hours. You've all been sent the booklet. It's very similar to last year's booklet. There's been a lot of hard work put into it, and hopefully you've all had a chance to review the budget. And if there are any questions, please raise any questions you have. And after that, we'll vote on the budget. Each community, one vote, so by raise of hands. So please, if there are any questions regarding the budget, we'll gladly try to answer as best as we can.
Is this the time for a question?
Yes, please.
And maybe you said it, or maybe it was said, are the amounts assuming going back to in-person, or like are we thinking about 2022 as similar to this past year, or looking back sort of 2 years of how our of how we do things?
It's Sharon, help me here, but I think it's a combination of both. It's we've discovered that on the one hand, looking 2 years back, the budget had different issues, but the COVID year presented other opportunities and other costs. So it's a combination of both.
Yeah, and again, we have to work on different scenarios. So within the budget, if you look at the booklet of last year and this year, flexibility is the key here. Of course, everything is done transparent. So if we have any surplus from past year, we will work with the management on, what we're going to do with that. But we're really hoping that there will be, we build the budget with the hope that there will be delegations, but it is in hybrid. Most of the programs are in a hybrid constellation.
I will add, I forgot to mention that the management team did review the budget and approve it. But still, any questions, any queries, please go ahead. Yes, Rob.
Yeah, Alicia, just quickly, in the future, I think it would be helpful to have actuals, at least actuals to date. It's hard to vote on a budget compared to last year's budget when we don't know how this year did relative to the budget. So I just don't know if that's been done in the past, but it's something that is something that one always would try to do, so that we have a gauge on, are we over, are we under, are there adjustments that can be made? Because the budget looks very similar to each other, and we know that the year was dramatically different. So just a suggestion for the future.
Noted, and we'll do our best to do it. I agree entirely. It's interesting to see budget against actual. Again, we had to grapple with the thoughts of mission starting, other expenses. So we did try to tie it in as much as possible to last year's budget. But yes, noted, your point's noted, and we'll do it. Anyone else?
There's a question in chat.
Yeah, I just want to, I read
Also,
it, and I want to make sure I understand. Stephen, do you want to elaborate? I'm not sure if I understand your question.
On, I guess the pages aren't, I don't see the page numbered, but it's, oh, it is numbered. Well, it says 90, page 90. On the Israel budget allocation page, it has, 4 columns, the allocations from the communities. It has the short year, July to December of 20. Then it has this year, this calendar year, January to December of this year, which I think we are in fact committed to, and the number there is correct. Then it has a third column, which is anticipated for 22. We can't really fully commit to the 22 number because we don't have our 21 campaign results yet on which that will all be based. So my question is just that, while I think it's going to be close to that, it could be a little more, it could be a little less, but that our approval of your budget is not necessarily an approval of the income side of your budget from our community.
We understand that, and we take that in consideration. But historically, the budget is not a new thing. It's been like that for years, and we know if a community, have a dramatic change, we will know that in advance. But most of the time, the numbers are, plus minus. I would say 5–10%. Probably depends on the campaign.
Thank you, Nancy. I think Nancy, you had a question.
No, that was Stephen answered my question, and Sharon answered my questions. So
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No, we're happy to vote. So all those in favor, please raise your hands. Sharon, hopefully you're counting because I can't see all the screens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be patient with me, please. 11, 12, 13.
I think it's all up.
15,
Oh, wait a minute. Christine came on and voted too, so there's 2 from South Bend.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I've got 18 votes out of 16 communities. Not too bad.
right. Just like the American vote.
Yeah.
Just like Chicago.
Right.
So budget approved. Sarah, is that a question you voting for? Approved. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you all very, very much for this wonderful evening and your participation and your comments and your involvement and your support. And hopefully we can give you as much support as you give us. And very much. Hopefully we can see you soon in person. We all miss you. That's from here, Sharon, Bracha.
Yeah, last thank you again. We said before, and I want to say thank you for the management team, for the leadership team, the staff that worked so hard all year and a half ago with the COVID, but especially now for the COC. We cannot wait to meet. And of course, thank you, all of you. You are our most deeply, highly involved professional and volunteers in the communities, and we really appreciate all your hard work and support. Anything else? Bracha, do you want to say something? And we want to dance at the end. This is now a tradition. So Noam is going to put a song for us to dance. But Bracha, do you want to say something?
I guess that's the most important part, is we can't do schmooze and booze, but we can at least share our joy together. And we really thank everybody for being part of this large octopus of a partnership. And it's because all of these people are together in it, that's what makes it so special. So thank you. Yeah. We hope to see everybody soon.
Okay,
I'd like to just the last word for it, but really thank you very, very, very much to all the staff there. Amazing job, very tested, and thank you all for being here. Any other questions? No, we're happy to vote. So all those in favor, please raise your hands. Sean, hopefully you're counting because I can't see all the screens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be patient with me, please. 11, 12, 13.
I think it's all up.
Oh, wait a minute. Christine came on and voted too, so there's 2 from South Bend.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, I've got 18 votes out of 16 communities. Not too bad.
Right. It's like the American vote.
Yeah. It's like Chicago.
Right.
So budget approved.
Thank you, everybody. It's really great to see you.
Thank you all. This was a wonderful way to end my years with partnership.
Michelle, we're gonna miss you.
Special thank you
You're still
to Michelle Bukai.
Yeah.
Hey, awesome.
See you all in Israel, hopefully.
See you in Israel.
Exactly. Yes, please come visit us. Toda, Gil, for everything. Toda.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Peggy.
See you. I'll get there, I promise.
We're waiting.
Never give up.